What's up, guys? Dan here, and I am excited to announce the start of a new series on the YouTube channel and over on the blog. And that blog is the Becoming Superhuman series. The idea is basically, as you know, I stopped writing the blog and doing the YouTube channel back in August of last year. It was at a really low point in my life. It was not a good time. If you go over to the blog, I actually made a great post about it called Bouncing Off Rock Bottom. And in that post, I alluded to the fact that I feel like I've definitely reached a whole new level of personal growth and existence since that point. And I've spoken a couple of times on the blog about it, but part of my goal in coming back is that I want to bring everything that I learned over the last 9 months and that I'm still learning, and all the methodologies that I've found and researched and put into practice in my own life to you, because I want to help you become more than what you are now, become a more superhuman version of yourself. Now, of course, the name of the blog and the name of the YouTube channel is Be a Game Character, and that's not changing in any way, shape, or form. But becoming superhuman is almost a broader category. All of the characters that we play in video games are typically superhuman, with a couple rare exceptions. But even those like, Ezio or any of the Assassin's Creed characters who are realistically based still do stuff that regular people just do not do. So the idea is still keeping with our core theme of becoming real life game characters, but it's probably going to go above and beyond that into the realms of personal growth outside of just physical fitness, which is what we've already covered. And I've kind of started branching out into that already with videos and blog posts, but this is going to be specifically motivated on that path of becoming more than the average person is. Now, and I use superhuman almost literally here because we are at the crux of a certain point in humanity, I think, where we're going to start seeing some really interesting stuff along the lines of like future type tech, various genetic, biological, technological advances that we're making right now. So I don't know if this is ever going to grow into that kind of scope, but the idea is still basically to become more than the average person is. So to that end, we're going to talk today about the first step in that, and that is setting goals. If you watched the webinar video that I made a couple of weeks ago, you probably have an idea where I'm going with this, but goals are basically the signposts. They are the guides that we follow. They are what keeps us on the road to whatever it is we're looking to do. A lot of people have a really hard time setting goals. They don't think they do, because their goal, they say, I'm going to do this thing. And then they go do that thing, but they don't actually usually do that thing because usually the goals they set are bad. So we're going to talk about good goals versus bad goals, or SMART goals versus dumb goals. Now, SMART is in fact an acronym. And again, if you watch the webinar, you're going to know kind of where I'm going with this. But SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And we're going to talk about each of those letters individually here. We're going to start with specific and what the deal with specific is. So a goal needs to be specific. Becoming superhuman is actually a bad goal. It's a cool mindset to stick to, but it's not a good goal because it's not specific. How do you know when you are superhuman? What's your end point? You need to have that end point. If you don't have an end point, you've got nowhere to start from. It's like saying, I'm going to go for a drive and expecting yourself to get somewhere specific. You might get somewhere cool, but if you're trying to get somewhere specific, you have to name that destination first. You can't plug into your GPS nothing. You have to put something in your GPS to get there. So the idea of specific is that you usually need to have some sort of numbers attached to it or some sort of actual finality. For example, running a 5K. Being able to run a full 5K, that's a specific goal. Making $6,000 a month, that is a specific goal. All right, a $6,000 per month average income, that's a specific goal. Reading a book a week, specific goal. Also, reading books, a lot of books, something that almost every single successful person out there does. I hear Bill Gates actually reads like 50 books a week, which of course he has time to do because he's a billionaire, but he also is probably doing more in his average daily life than you are anyway, so don't use time as an excuse to try and get out of this. You should read books. So, but anyway, I digress. Those are good specific goals. They are very exact. You don't want something like, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get strong. I'm going to be rich. You'll never accomplish it. You'll never get there. Maybe 1 in 100 people gets there by being vague like that. But for the most part, if you're not specific, it's not going to happen. Which brings us to number 2, the M in SMART. Specific, measurable. Measurable means there's some way to chart your progress, which is very, 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 very important. Charting your progress means that you can look at where you want to go and where you are, and you can recognize all those little steps between here and there. If you can't measure it, you again will not accomplish it because you need to get that sense of accomplishment on your way there. For an example, if you're looking to run a 5K, okay, here you are now, here's where you want to be. Right now, you're sitting on the couch eating Cheetos, and there's a great program called Couch to 5K. If running a 5K is something you want to do, look into it. That's an awesome program. It's out on the internet. Just go Google it. So here you are on the couch eating Cheetos. Here's that 5K you want to run that all your friends signed up for. So very measurable. You go out and you walk. You walk for 20 minutes, and you measure your steps, and you're not running. You're just walking, and you say, hey, look at that. I did a mile. All right? Mile in 20 minutes, totally doable. You can do that. All right? So, or even less than that. I walked half a mile. I walked from my house to the end of the block, and then I came back again. Awesome. Because you know what? Tomorrow you're going to do it a little bit faster. Or you're going to go a little bit farther. Or both. Having those little incremental steps between where you start and where you go, incredibly important. If you don't have that, you're again going to fail. You get no reward for your actions. There's no dopamine going through your system going, hey, good job, you accomplished something. You need to have those measurable steps. And also, if it's not measurable, you're again not going to have a specific goal. You're never going to know when you get there. So specific, measurable, hand in hand. They go together. Work them together. Next one is attainable. Now this one is super important because a lot of people get the specific and measurable down, but they don't know how to set up the attainable. And you need to know a little bit about what you're trying to do before you try to do it. If you're sitting on the couch eating Cheetos and you want to run a 5K, you're not going to do it in a week. I'm sorry. It's probably not going to happen unless you were sitting on the couch eating your Cheetos after you ran a 5K last week. Then you're going to do it. But if you want to lose 50 pounds, you're not going to do it in a month. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. If you want to make $6,000 a month and you're making $0 right now because you don't have a job, you're probably not going to do it unless you're a doctor and your new job starts tomorrow and you just left your old job yesterday. All right. So you need to have an idea of where you're at, where you want to get to, and the reasonable expectations for how long it'll take you to get there. So attainable needs to be within your reach. To bring it back to the superhero idea, obviously you're not going to be flying like just under your own power naked. That's not attainable. You could say, I want to fly 20 miles per hour, but that's, specific and measurable, probably not going to happen. I want to learn how to hang glide in a month. There's something you might be able to do. I want to get my pilot's license by next year. All right. Flying under my own power, probably not going to happen. I'm sorry. Unless you're already Kryptonian, in which case I have no room to talk. Go you. So, specific, measurable, attainable. Next up comes R, and that is relevant. Relevant means that it is personally relevant to your daily life. You need to pick a goal that has meaning for you. Saying, I want to lose weight is great, but if it's not relevant to you, it's not going to happen. If you don't have a specific reason for doing it, it's not going to happen. I want to lose weight. I want to lose 30 pounds by next year because I want to be able to be better at rock climbing than I am right now. There we go. Specific, measurable, attainable, 30 pounds in a year, doable. Relevant. I like rock climbing. I want to get better at it. If I'm very heavy, I'm making it harder on myself. If I lose weight, I will make it easier on myself. I want to make $6,000 a month because I have a dream house that I want to be able to afford the mortgage for that overlooks the bay, and I really want to start a family, and it's got 3 bedrooms, and it's got this gorgeous view, but I'm not making enough money for it right now. So I need to get to that income so that I can afford that house. Relevant. Very, very relevant, okay? You need something that is going to keep you motivated because if you don't wake up every day and have a reason for doing it, you're probably not going to do it most days. And that's why a lot of people fail. We talk about self-discipline. I made a post about it on the blog last week. But if you don't have that initial motivation, all the self-discipline in the world won't get you there because you have no reason for doing it. And you need that relevancy. You need to have it be personal to you. So that's our R. Last one is the T, time bound. Now, there is a law called Parkinson's Law that basically states that a task will expand with the time you allot for it, which seems pretty straightforward. But if you've ever been, in college with a term paper and you've put it off and put it off and put it off, you've already experienced Parkinson's Law because your teacher said, this paper's not due until the end of the semester. And you said, fine, that's not a big deal. And you end up doing it in the last week and you kill yourself. All right. You could do it a little bit at a time across that whole big chunk of time, but it's too far away. It's not really a good time-bound goal. A good time-bound goal fits right in with your attainable and your measurable, all right? You want to be able to say, okay, I know it will take me this time to do it. I know I can lose 1 to 2% of my body weight safely every week. So, I thought my phone was ringing. So, that's something that you want to make sure that you plug in there because if you don't set yourself a time limit, you're, again, not going to achieve it. If you don't set yourself a realistic time limit that fits in with your attainability goal, you're still not going to achieve it because you're going to give yourself way too much time and you're going to procrastinate and not get it done. Or you're going to give yourself way too little time and you're going to fail and you get discouraged. All right? You want to make sure that your time limit for yourself is realistic for your goal and that you can stick to it with your measurability progress. You want to be able to go ahead and measure out the time it will take. So, my time goal is a month. I want to make sure that if I give myself a month, I have little daily benchmarks that I can do. So time bound, last part. So S.M.A.R.T, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Now, sometimes if you have a really big goal, it's hard to make it fit all this because it's big. In which case you need to break it down into chunks, which can be difficult. So if you have a hard time breaking something down into chunks, please go ahead and comment below or stop over in the forums and talk with me about it because I've gotten very, very good at making SMART goals and breaking them down over time. So I would love to help you out with it or, any other aspect of this. If you have no idea, how to research whether or not something's attainable or, hey, buddy.
Dad, you've been up here for 2 hours and we got a fire in the grill ready.
Oh, okay.
And I was just knowing if you were ready for food.
I will be ready for food in just a minute.
Okay.
Okay? Give me a kiss. Mwah. I love you, big guy. Wiping it off. Nice. All right. Go ahead. Scoot. I'll be done in a second. Close the door on the way out. Oh, get out of here. Hamming it up for the camera. Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. Go. Scoot.
I am.
Relevancy. Right there. Everything I do for him. Speaking of which, it's apparently time for me to go and eat a nice, lovely grilled steak. So, in that respect, again, I want to help you out. If you have problems with this, go ahead, comment below, and I will help you in any way that I can. If it's a little more involved, come stop in over at the forums. I'd love to have a big discussion about it just because we can get more people involved, and that's always helpful to everyone. So I really hope that you enjoy this series. I'm looking forward to doing it. They're going to pop up every now and then for the near future. I have no idea what kind of schedule I'm going to be putting them on you right now. I don't want to commit to anything. But rest assured, I'm really fired up about this, so we're going to keep going on it. So I really hope you enjoy it, and I really hope it brings a lot to your life and helps you become a more awesome version of yourself. So thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you know somebody that could really take advantage of this or really be into the whole becoming superhuman concept, please go ahead and share the video with them because I want to get a lot of people involved in this. I think if we get more people involved, it'll be really a great big movement that we can get going here. So I'm looking forward to kind of growing this as a concept. So thank you for watching again. As always, remember to live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. Bye-bye.